So I'm really excited so many of you could make it today. And even more so that you're all interested in setting goals or world domination, if that's what you came here for. You've all been spoken to today by a lot of professional speakers if you went to the earlier lectures, and you're probably all getting kind of tired. The fact is, I'm not really a professional speaker, and I'm not going to do a lot of speeching at you. I'm going to instead try to include you all as much as possible. So try to wake up, put on your thinking caps, and get ready to do some brainstorming with me. Because today we're going to plan your next semester. Okay, so the title of this speech is Goal Setting and World Domination. Goal setting is pretty self-explanatory, but world domination has kind of some connotations, I suppose, of, tyranny and fascism and, Stalin and Mao and all those people. So that's not what I'm referencing here. What I'm speaking about is more like ideological world domination, because I think most of you would agree that for the last 2,000 years or so, certain ideologies have dominated at least the western side of our planet. And you're all here in the Secular Student Alliance for a reason, I'm sure. So we all want to see something reign supreme, whatever that is. So who am I to be giving this talk? Well, actually, the fine gentleman who just introduced me kind of already explained to you a little bit about me. But I'll give you a little bit more really quick, because you're supposed to in speeches give credentials, I suppose. So for the last 2 years, I attended North Idaho College with these two lovely people. Woo! That's a place in Coeur d'Alene. A lot colder than here. I got a job with student government as a student events organizer. So I got a lot of training in putting on events. The experience I got from that, I funneled into the club I founded and was president of for 2 years, called the North Idaho College Philosophy Club. And both years that I was president, last year and this year, we received Club of the Year. Which is pretty crazy because everyone knew that we were affiliated with the Secular Student Alliance, and that is a conservative hellhole over there. It is. It's crazy. I remember the Sam, who was just speaking, talked about people ripping down people's posters. We put so much money into posters and so much time into putting them up, and those things were being ripped down. Like I had my routes to classes, and I would just have posters, extra posters in my backpack, and I'd be like, oh, putting that one back up, putting that one back up, and then people would write on them slanderous words or prayers or whatever. It was fun. It was a lot of fun, and these are some of the pictures of just some of our more successful events. This is my proof. That's Kara. Club of the Year. Okay, so now that I've kind of told you about how awesome our club was, we're going to talk a little bit about world domination in 3 easy steps. Those steps are defining the group's mission clearly, setting goals, and then setting and accomplishing objectives to reach said goals. I mean, it's pretty simple, and this is stuff that most of you have probably already heard about. But it's summertime, and the fact is you've all probably been really preoccupied with fun things besides club stuff. And this is a chance for you all to start thinking about getting back on track and preparing for the upcoming semester, because this could be the best semester your club has ever had. And that's our goal here, to make that next semester the most impacting one ever. Because, like Sam just said, the fact is what you do is going to create ripples that will affect the world at large. And so whatever it is that you're most passionate about, you can have an influence on the rest of the world by accomplishing goals. The first step is establishing a shared vision. This is actually something that my club had a lot of difficulty with, because we weren't a strict Secular Student Alliance or free thinking community or whatever. We were a philosophy club, which really meant that people came with a million different opinions and everyone disagreed with one another, and so it was really hard to all get on the same page. But when we boiled it all down to its roots, it basically came down to open-mindedness and critical thinking, which is a pretty good mission, I think. So you got to figure out what your club is passionate about. And if you're going through leadership transitions like we are right now, I'm now an alumni of North Idaho College. I've transferred to BSU, Boise State University. These two are taking up the torch with a few others, and the plan is to do something similar but better than we have done so far. And the thing is like having a bunch of new blood in the club is going to be fun and exciting and all that, but it's also going to mean that you have to reevaluate what your club's actual mission is. So we're going to do a little experiment here. We're going to pretend that this is a college campus, that you are all in my club. I just made myself president of this club. And we're going to just really quickly kind of jump around and see why you are here. Why you're in the SSA, why you're in whatever club it is that you are in that is affiliated with the SSA. I'm assuming most of you are officers. What is it that you wish to accomplish by being in this club? Sir. What's your purpose?
To undemonize the word. Yes.
Good. So to promote the secular worldview, basically, to hopefully open some minds and tell them all that we're not Satan worshipers necessarily. No offense if you are. How about you?
For me, just build a community of similar-minded people, non-religious backgrounds, perspectives.
So you don't have to pray at the beginning of every meeting. That's cool. And one last person who wants to... Dana, why are you in the club you're in?
For me, it's really about self-improvement.
Self-improvement. See, a lot of free thinkers don't exactly have well-established communities anymore because they've probably left one of those communities. So if we just boil down the last three statements, I think it would really come down to open-minded discussion, hopefully critical thinking, and even more hopefully humanitarianism. So it's pretty easy to come up with a mission statement that involves one, two, or all three of those things. So step 2, group goal setting. Now this is the fun part because, well, actually it was going to be more fun. I was going to have a whiteboard in here, but this building was going to charge us like an arm and a leg to have it set up. So instead I'm going to need a volunteer. Who wants to be a secretary for this club? Kara, do you have legible handwriting?
I can have legible handwriting.
You can? Do you have a piece of paper you can write on? Awesome. That's perfect. So, who here, I'm going to pick on people instead. What is your club doing next semester? Like, what's one thing that you're really excited that your club is definitely doing next semester?
Service projects. We're making care packages for help the homeless. And
Write it down.
A goal, we already made a goal of 100 care packages we want to do, and then disperse them in our community.
That's awesome. It definitely goes towards what you're saying, which is like, what you're saying, which is like undemonizing the word atheist. Look at us, we're atheists and we're humanitarians as well. How about you, sir? What are you excited about doing next semester? Yeah.
I'm not sure what we're doing.
That's what I was looking for, actually. You're not supposed to already have this figured out. How about you, Caleb? What do you...
I graduated.
Oh. Alumni, cheers. Well, hopefully you get plugged into something awesome pretty soon here.
There's a CFI in Portland, so.
Nice. How about you? Red shirt, yeah.
I'm just doing
Cool. No, that's good though. That's why we're all here right now, is so that we can start planning all of this. See, the thing is it is summertime, and so most people aren't thinking about what they're doing next semester. Because typically, it takes about a month to get a club running at the beginning of a semester. Everyone kind of has to go to a couple meetings, maybe do some voting, figure out who's actually going to run the ship. And then after that, then they start thinking about what events they're going to do. And it's already halfway through the semester. So what set the North Idaho College Philosophy Club apart from the other 33 clubs on campus, some of which were very, very active? In a word... in some words, it was planning ahead of time, really. What we started doing, we learned this through trial and error, was to start planning our semesters a month ahead before the semester started, at least. Like, so right now, the idea is that you all start thinking about what it is that you want to do. And then either in July or early August, have a brainstorming session. So the way that we did that was through a little something that we called the brain spill. I'm not sure if that's someone else's terminology and if I should be citing somebody. Don't Google it though. If you Google image that, I'm still traumatized. I tried to find a good picture earlier. It's bad. Don't Google brain spill. Just do a brain spill with your club, hopefully this month or next month or the month after that, but definitely before the next semester kicks off. So what is it and how did we do it? Basically, we talked through Facebook messaging. One of our favorite techniques for all staying in touch. Most people have Facebooks. People who didn't, we made them get Facebooks. We had to make a few people get Facebooks. Antisocial philosophers, I swear to God. So we made them get Facebook, tap into these conversations, and we would start a group conversation. And the cool thing is when they've read it. So dude, it says that you read it. I know you read it. So it helps everyone kind of stay on the same page and communicate. So we said basically like, hey, everyone start thinking about what you want to do next semester. Just sky's the limit. Think about whatever you want to think about, but get thinking because in a week or 2 weeks or whatever, we're all meeting and we're going to talk about this. So then you get together and you have an actual brainstorming session or a brain spill. There's only two rules to this. Well, I prefer to have a whiteboard up, probably a marker. A couple people can get up on that if they want to. And there's only two rules, which is one, no judgment. So if you give me an idea right now and it's like, oh, well, we should go on a trip to Guatemala or something. It's like, ooh, that's kind of complicated and it's really, well, that's going to be labor intensive and take a lot of planning. You don't say that. You just go, okay, cool, it goes on the board. And you take everyone's ideas as you go on and you keep adding that to the board. Put every idea on the table or the whiteboard. So I think for about a minute or two here, we're going to do these two questions. And I'm just going to keep asking different people. If you want to just raise your hand and offer something, that'd make it easier than picking on people. Actually, that is easier, picking on people. So what have been your greatest hits so far? What is everyone who has done something last semester that you were proud of or that had really great results that got you closer to whatever it is your club's shared vision is? Just raise your hand if you did something that you're really proud of. I'll take you first.
Well, the debate on Bible institutions that fill up the room, and I couldn't actually attend it because it was too cold.
Yeah, wow. That's awesome. Washington. Spokane? That's awesome. Yeah, that's right. I wish we probably couldn't have got in either. So it's better that we didn't go. So we'll add that, just a debate. I think that's one that every club here should probably put on at some point. They're fun and amazing, and it's really great. How about you?
Yeah, I'm from the University of Arizona. We actually hosted an interfaith religious group last day. Not on the day itself, but that week we were in Williston. And filled up the room. We actually had to bring in chairs and tables from the rooms, neighboring it, and just engage them in about an hour and a half long conversation about some stuff. They always love interesting questions.
That's awesome. We almost set something up very similar last semester, but we never got around to it, damn it.
You should do it.
Yeah, you should do it. Joe wants to set it up. Let him do it. Hear that, Joe? Okay. What was yours?
Last year we took a field trip to the Atheist Experience down in Austin, and a lot of people loved it. Got about 10-ish, a little bit more out there. So 4-hour trip, so it was pretty good.
Road trips are so good for clubs. They're so good for bonding. Seriously. Find something. We found Steven Pinker 2 semesters ago. He came and did a talk, and we did just that. We just traveled out there, and it was one of the best things our club did. What's just 2 last people, what's something that you want to do next semester? Ideas? Fundraisers. Awesome. Fundraisers?
My group is talking about doing Smut for Smut. I don't know how many many people know that, but yeah.
Sounds dirty.
Allowing people to exchange their old Bibles for porn.
Changing old Bibles for porn. I'll do that without a club. No, I'm just kidding. I'll get on Craigslist. Oh, this thing's still attached to me. Hold on. It's way too hot in here. And I want to show off my awesome Orwellian shirt. Cool. So let's just imagine that went on for another hour and people kept putting ideas out there and we covered up the whiteboard with all these different ideas. Then the next step is to take a break when everyone's positively brain dead. You take an intermission. The intermission could be like 5 minutes or it could be a week. But come back soon, and then you start eliminating things from the chart, from the board. And you eliminate using. Oh, here's a picture, by the way, of us when we did that. That was the entire semester schedule, where we crossed out all the holidays and breaks and other events that were already on the calendar, and so we planned around everything so no one could compete with us. And then you use SMART, a really cool acronym for eliminating the things that are less realistic. So the goals that you're setting have to be specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time sensitive. This will usually eliminate some really awesome sounding ideas that some people might be really attached to, but let's face it, we're all critical thinkers, and hopefully we're all a little skeptical of how we'll be halfway through the semester when homework starts piling up, and so we can be realistic. To repeat, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time sensitive. Every one of these goals that you guys have on the board needs to be able to be possible within that amount of time. Group goal doing. After goal setting comes group doing, which you set weekly objectives, delegation, continuous communication, and you keep one another accountable through something like Facebook messaging and hopefully weekly meetings or bi-weekly meetings. If your group loves to talk a lot and you've got people that like to talk and not act, I recommend separating work from fun and having a council outside of and beside the actual group so that you guys can get stuff done in a short amount of time and still keep stuff on track and people can still come to the general meetings and have fun. That was one of the best things that our club ever did. Time flies a lot faster than I thought it was going to. But thankfully, we've gotten through most of this. I guess it's a good thing we didn't have a whiteboard because that would have been too much fun and we would have just got caught up with that forever. So, in closing, we're just going to recap. Hopefully, within the next month or two, these ideas you have on the back burner are going to keep cooking. And then you're all going to get together, do a brain spill onto something, and then you're going to work on eliminating stuff until it's realistic, and you're going to have your entire next semester planned out, because guess what? None of the other clubs will have done that. And you'll be the only club on campus that is like, boom, event, all in the first month or two, because no one else is doing anything right then, because they're all doing the lazy thing. So that's that, and have fun taking over the world.